the awakened souls who have chosen to rise while the rest of the world remains caught in the slumber of mediocrity. Your presence here at this specific hour is not a coincidence, and it is not an accident. It is a divine appointment that you have scheduled with your own destiny. While the masses are still lost in their dreams, you are here to build yours. We are standing together at the threshold of a revelation that has been guarded and whispered about in secret societies and mystery schools for thousands of years. We are about to uncover the missing link between the desire for wealth and the actual possession of wealth. Most people live their entire lives standing outside the candy store of the universe, pressing their noses against the glass and wondering why they cannot taste the sweetness inside. They work hard and they pray hard, and they are good people, yet they remain in a cycle of struggle and lack. Today we are going to shatter that glass. We are going to reveal the secret mechanics of how the universe actually delivers abundance. This is not about learning a new business strategy or a new way to budget your savings. This is about reclaiming a power that was yours at birth, but was stolen from you by a society that trained you to be a servant rather than a master. We must begin by understanding the profound tragedy of the modern condition. Florence Scovel Shinn taught us that the reason 90% of women and men fail to achieve prosperity is not because there is a shortage of money. There is no shortage. The universe is infinite, and it creates abundance, as naturally as the sun creates light. The reason for failure is almost always linguistic and vibrational. Most people approach the infinite intelligence with the posture of a beggar. They approach the throne of the Most High with their heads bowed low and their hands shaking, and they whisper a plea for just enough to survive. They use words of desperation. They say, "I hope I can pay my bills," or "Please let this work out," or "I am so afraid of losing everything." When you speak this way, you are vibrating at the frequency of an orphan. You are telling the cosmos that you are separate from the source of supply. You are telling the divine design that you are an outsider who is hoping for a crumb from the master's table. But I am here to tell you that you are not the outsider. You are the heir. And an heir does not beg for what they own. An heir takes possession. Imagine for a moment a prince living in his father's palace. If that prince is thirsty, does he fall to his knees and beg the king for a glass of water? Does he write a proposal explaining why he deserves the water? Does he worry all night that the water might run out? Of course not. That would be insane. The prince simply walks to the table and takes the water because he knows who he is. He knows the palace belongs to his lineage. He commands the resource to appear by his very presence. This is the shift we must make today. We are moving from the energy of the beggar to the energy of the commander. We are moving from the vibration of hope to the vibration of decree. This is the secret that the wealthy elite and the spiritual masters have known for centuries. The universe does not respond to your need. It responds to your authority. It does not give you what you want. It gives you who you are. If you are a beggar, you get crumbs. If you are a commander, you get kingdoms. But to wield this authority, you must understand the timing. Power is all about timing. You cannot simply shout commands into the noise of a busy day and expect the same results as when you whisper them into the silence of the dawn. This brings us to the concept of the sacred morning window. The first 20 to 30 minutes after you wake up are the most critical minutes of your entire existence. During this brief window, your brain is transitioning from the delta waves of deep sleep through the theta waves of the dream state and into the alpha waves of relaxed alertness. In this specific frequency, your conscious mind, which is the gatekeeper of your doubts and fears, is still asleep. The guard is down. The door to your subconscious mind is wide open. This is the Holy of Holies. This is the control room of your reality. Whatever you plant in this soil during these first 20 minutes will grow with terrifying speed and precision. Now, look at what the average person does with this sacred power. The alarm goes off, and the first thing they do is reach for their phone. They scroll through social media and see someone else's perfect life, and they feel a pang of jealousy. They check the news and see war and disaster, and they feel a pang of fear. They check their work email and see a demand from their boss, and they feel a pang of stress. In less than 5 minutes, they have planted seeds of jealousy and fear and stress deep into the fertile soil of their subconscious. Then they get up and go about their day wondering why their life feels so heavy and why money seems so hard to get. They do not realize that they have literally commanded their day to be a struggle. They have used their divine authority to order a menu of misery. They are the architects of their own prison. You must refuse to be part of that statistic. You must treat these first 20 minutes as a sacred ceremony. Think of your mind in the morning as wet cement. During the day, that cement hardens and becomes concrete, and it is very difficult to make an impression on it. But in the morning, the cement is soft and pliable. You can write anything you want in wet cement, and when it hardens, that writing becomes permanent. If you write, "I am wealthy," in the wet cement of the morning, then the concrete reality of your day must solidify around that truth. This is why we are here. We are here to learn how to write the script of millions upon the tablet of the morning mind. We are here to seize the helm of the ship before the storm of the day begins. This is where the ancient wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn becomes a sword in your hand. She understood that words are not just sounds. Words are radioactive. They are containers of power. When you speak with authority in the morning window, you are not just talking to yourself. You are issuing a decree to the invisible forces that govern the material world. You are activating the law of demand. This law states that the supply is always waiting for the demand, but the demand must be made with absolute certainty. The universe is a faithful servant, but it requires a clear master. If the master is confused, the servant does nothing. If the master mumbles, the servant waits. But when the master speaks with the thunder of conviction, the servant moves heaven and earth to fulfill the order. The technique we are about to learn involves 3 specific words. These are not random words. They are a code. Just as you need a specific password to access your bank account, you need a specific vibrational password to access the great storehouse of universal wealth. These 3 words have been tested. They have been proven. They carry a frequency that cuts through the noise of doubt like a hot knife through butter. When you learn to speak these words in the sacred window, you will feel a physical shift in your body. You will feel the fear evaporating. You will feel a column of light establishing itself in your spine. You will stop looking for the miracle outside of yourself and realize that you are the generator of the miracle. I want you to pause and really let this sink in. You are not a victim of the economy. You are not a victim of your upbringing. You are not a victim of your past mistakes. Those are just stories you have been told and stories you have repeated until they felt true. But right now, in this sacred morning light, you have the power to burn those stories to ash. You have the power to birth a new version of yourself, a version that does not ask for permission to be rich, a version that does not apologize for desiring abundance, a version that stands tall and looks the universe in the eye and issues the command. The poverty of the past is dissolving. The limitations of yesterday are fading. You are standing on holy ground. The transformation we are aiming for is total. It is not just about having more money in the bank, although that will certainly happen. It is about becoming a person of such high vibrational authority that money chases you. It is about becoming a magnet so strong that opportunities fight to get to you. It is about walking into a room and changing the atmosphere because you carry the energy of the commander. This is what Florence Scovel Shinn taught. She did not just teach people how to get money, she taught them how to be divine. And once you are divine, the money is the easy part. The money is just the shadow cast by your light. So, prepare your heart, clear your mind. Forget everything you have been taught about struggle and hard work and sacrifice. We are about to enter the operating room of the soul. We are about to take the scalpel of truth and cut away the lies of lack. We are about to implant the seed of the kingdom. The time for sleeping is over. The time for dreaming small is over. You are awake now. And the awakened soul is the most powerful force in the universe. Are you ready to take your seat on the throne? Are you ready to stop asking and start commanding? The secret lies in the 3 words we will reveal next, but first, you must accept your role. You are the commander, and your wish is not a hope. Your wish is law. To truly grasp the magnitude of the power you hold in your hands, we must step back in time. We must leave the comfort of the modern world and transport ourselves to one of the bleakest winters in American history. The year is 1934. The Great Depression has its iron grip on the throat of New York City. The streets are filled with men in worn-out coats, standing in breadlines, and the air is thick with the fog of hopelessness. Banks have failed. Businesses have crumbled. The collective consciousness of the nation is vibrating at the frequency of absolute lack. It is against this backdrop of darkness that a woman named Magdalena Torres enters our story. She is not a fictional character. She was a real flesh and blood woman who walked into the study of Florence Scovel Shinn, carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Magdalena was from Guatemala, and she had come to America with dreams of success only to be crushed by a devastating business accident. She had lost everything. When I say everything, I do not just mean her savings. I mean her dignity. She had no home. She had no money for food. She was sleeping on the floor of a friend's apartment, relying on charity to survive. She was in a state of spiritual bankruptcy. Magdalena stood before Florence Scovel Shinn, trembling with the specific kind of fear that only comes when you do not know where your next meal is coming from. She told Florence that she felt cursed. She said that God had forgotten her and that luck had turned its back on her. She poured out a litany of complaints and sorrows, reciting the details of her tragedy like a well-rehearsed script. Florence listened patiently. She did not offer pity because pity is a toxic energy that affirms the victimhood of the sufferer. Instead, Florence looked at this broken woman and delivered a diagnosis that cut straight to the bone. She said, "Magdalena, your luck has not turned against you, and God has not forgotten you. You have simply used your own tongue to build a prison around yourself. The wrong words created your ruin, and the right words will create your resurrection." Florence explained that Magdalena had spent months, perhaps years, commanding her own destruction by waking up every morning and agreeing with poverty. She had been saying, "I am ruined and I am lost," and in doing so, she had given the universe permission to destroy her. This is the turning point of the story. Florence gave Magdalena a choice. She could continue to be the victim of the economy, or she could become the master of her reality. She taught Magdalena the 3 words of command and instructed her to use them immediately upon waking. Magdalena accepted the challenge. On March 20th of 1934, she began her practice. I want you to imagine what those first few mornings must have felt like for her. She wakes up on a cold, hard floor in a borrowed apartment. Her stomach is empty. Her reality is screaming at her that she is poor. The logical mind is mocking her, saying this is foolishness. But Magdalena defies her senses. She closes her eyes against the cold reality, and she summons the fire of the spirit. She speaks the command. She asserts her authority. For 10 days, she fights this invisible battle. For 10 days, she digs the ditches in the valley of her despair, refusing to let doubt creep back in. Then comes March 30th, exactly 10 days after she began the decree. The miracle arrives, but it does not arrive in a way that anyone could have predicted. This is the beauty of the divine design. It is always stranger and more wonderful than fiction. A woman knocks on the door of the building where Magdalena is staying. It is her sister. Now you must understand the context. Magdalena had not seen or heard from this sister in 18 years. They were estranged. They lived in different worlds. The statistical probability of this sister finding Magdalena in a city of millions in a borrowed apartment without the aid of telephones or internet is virtually zero. It is a mathematical impossibility. But the command does not care about statistics. The sister had not just come for a visit, she had come as a messenger of supply. She revealed that she had received a massive inheritance from a distant relative, and for reasons she could not logically explain, she felt an overwhelming compulsion to find Magdalena and share it. The sister carried with her a check. From that inheritance, she gave Magdalena $21,000. Now, in today's money, that might sound like a nice sum, but in the deflationary economy of 1934, $21,000 was a fortune. It was enough to buy a mansion. It was enough to retire. In a single instant, Magdalena went from being a homeless beggar to being one of the wealthiest women in her neighborhood. The universe did not just trickle supply to her, it flooded her. The command had reorganized the entire history of her family to bring that money to her doorstep. The 18 years of silence were broken. The geographic distance was erased. The logical barriers were shattered, all because one woman dared to wake up and issue a command instead of a complaint. But the story does not end there. Florence Scovel Shinn teaches us that when you open the door of abundance, you do not just get money, you get opportunity. You get dignity. 2 weeks after receiving the inheritance, another miracle occurred. Magdalena was contacted by an international company. They were looking for someone with her specific background and skills. They offered her an executive position with a salary of $600 a month. Again, we must look at the context. In 1934, the average American was lucky to make $100 a month. $600 was a king's ransom. It was a salary that commanded respect. Magdalena was no longer just a woman with money. She was a woman with a career and a purpose. She wrote to Florence in a state of awe, asking how is it possible that 3 simple words created this avalanche of good. Florence replied with the wisdom that anchors our entire philosophy. She said, "They are not simple words, Magdalena. They are divine authority in the form of sound. The universe obeys the one who speaks with absolute power." This story is not just a history lesson. It is a mirror. You are Magdalena. You may not be sleeping on a floor in 1934, but you have your own version of the Great Depression. You have your own fears. You have your own logical reasons why it cannot happen for you. You have your own 18 years of silence where nothing has gone right. But look at what happened. It did not take 18 years to fix the problem. It took 10 days. The moment Magdalena shifted her identity from beggar to commander, the universe began to move heaven and earth to reach her. The sister was likely already on her way before Magdalena even finished her first sentence. The inheritance was likely already in probate. The job opening was likely already being discussed in a boardroom. The supply was always there. It was just waiting for the authorization code. What makes this story so critical for us today is that it proves the non-linear nature of success. We are taught that success is a slow climb up a ladder. We are taught that you have to save penny by penny for 40 years. But Magdalena's story proves that quantum leaps are real. She did not climb a ladder. She took an elevator. She bypassed the struggle. She bypassed the economy. She bypassed the logic of her era. When you use the morning command, you are opting out of the slow path. You are stepping into the fast lane of miracles. You are tapping into a system of laws that supersede the laws of economics. The skepticism you feel right now is the same skepticism Magdalena must have felt on day one. The cold floor felt real. The hunger felt real. But she dared to believe in a reality she could not see. And because she held that frequency, the invisible became visible. The question you must ask yourself is not whether this works. The proof is in the history books. The question is, do you have the courage to be Magdalena? Do you have the courage to wake up tomorrow morning and face your own empty bank account and speak with the voice of a multimillionaire? Do you have the discipline to do it for 10 days or 20 days or however long it takes for your sister to knock on the door? The miracle of 1934 is available in 2026. The laws of physics have not changed. The nature of God has not changed. The only variable is you. Magdalena made her choice in the middle of a depression. You have the luxury of making your choice in a time of infinite possibility. She turned her ruin into a resurrection with nothing but her voice. You have the same voice. You have the same authority. The check is already written. The job is already waiting. The family is already looking for you. All they are waiting for is your command. Now that you understand the power of the command and the history of its effectiveness, we must address the single most common reason why people fail to replicate Magdalena's miracle. They fail because they try to wield the weapon of the gods while inhabiting the vibration of a slave. They wake up, and while their mind is still foggy and their body is still heavy with sleep, they mumble the words, "I command wealth," and then they wonder why nothing happens. You cannot fire a golden arrow from a broken bow. Your body and your spirit are the bow. If the tension is wrong, or if the wood is rot, or if the aim is shaky, the arrow will fall harmlessly to the ground, no matter how sharp the tip is. The words I command now are the arrow, but the preparation ritual is the act of drawing the bow. Without the ritual, the words are just noise. With the ritual, the words become a laser beam that cuts through the fabric of reality. Florence Scovel Shinn was very specific about this. She taught that you cannot approach the altar of authority with dirty hands. You must cleanse the temple of your being before you invite the King of Wealth to enter. This preparation is not a suggestion. It is a requirement. It is the difference between a prayer that hits the ceiling and a command that hits the target. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I want you to dedicate exactly 23 minutes to this sacred ceremony. Why 23 minutes? Because it represents a tithe of your time to your own divinity. It is a signal to the universe that you prioritize your spiritual alignment above the demands of the world. During this time, the phone must be off. The door must be closed. You are entering the Holy of Holies, and you must not be disturbed. The first step of the ritual is physical alignment. You must move your body from the horizontal position of sleep, which mimics death, to the vertical position of wakefulness, which represents life. Do not slouch in bed. Do not lean against the headboard. You must sit on the edge of the bed or in a chair with your feet flat on the floor and your spine perfectly straight. Visualizing your spine is crucial here. In the metaphysical anatomy, your spine is not just a stack of bones. It is a cosmic antenna. It is the lightning rod that connects the energy of the earth to the energy of the heavens. When you sit with your spine erect, you are physically creating a clear channel for the kundalini or the life force to rise. You are telling your nervous system that you are alert, and you are sovereign, and you are ready to rule. A king does not slouch on his throne. A commander does not slump in his chair. By straightening your spine, you are assuming the posture of authority. You are aligning your chakras into a single column of light. If you try to command while your body is collapsed, your signal will be weak and distorted. Sit tall. Lift the crown of your head toward the sky. Feel the dignity in your posture. You are already changing your state before you have even taken a breath. Now we move to the engine of the ritual, which is the breath. Most people breathe shallowly into their chest, which keeps them in a state of low-level fight or flight. This is the breath of survival. We need to activate the breath of creation. Florence taught a specific rhythmic breathing technique that synchronizes the heart and the brain. It is the 4-7-8 rhythm. You will inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. This is not arbitrary numbers. This is a mathematical code that unlocks the parasympathetic nervous system and opens the door to the subconscious. Let us break down exactly what happens in each stage so you can visualize it with intensity. First, you inhale through your nose for a count of 4. As you inhale, imagine you are pulling in pure liquid gold light from the atmosphere around you. This is prana. This is the substance of wealth itself. Feel it filling your lungs and expanding your belly. You are not just taking in air, you are taking in inspiration. You are fueling the machine. Then you hold that breath for a count of 7. This is the most important part. This is the alchemy. During these 7 seconds, the gold light you inhaled is circulating through your blood. It is crossing the blood-brain barrier. It is mixing with your human DNA and upgrading it. In the silence of the hold, you are suspended between worlds. You are not in the past, and you are not in the future. You are in the eternal now. This hold builds the pressure required to fire the command. It gathers the energy into a single point of focus. Finally, you exhale through your mouth for a count of 8, making a soft whooshing sound. As you exhale, imagine you are releasing gray smoke from your body. This smoke is your doubt. It is your poverty consciousness. It is the trauma of your past failures. You are physically pushing the old programming out of your cells to make room for the new. The exhale must be longer than the inhale because we always have more to release than we realize. You must repeat this cycle exactly 9 times. 9 is the number of completion. It is the number of the humanitarian and the spiritual master. By the time you finish the 9th breath, you will feel a physical change. Your skin may tingle. Your head may feel light. Your hands may feel warm. This is not your imagination. This is the sensation of your frequency rising. You have shifted from the density of matter to the lightness of spirit. You are no longer a tired human trying to make money. You are a vibrant spiritual being preparing to manifest. Once the breath has cleared the channel, we must activate the control center. Most people think the command comes from the brain, but the brain is just a processor. The authority comes from the heart. The electromagnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times stronger than the brain. If you command from your head, it is just a thought. If you command from your heart, it is a law. To activate this, you must physically place your right hand over your heart center. Feel the warmth of your palm against your chest. Feel the rhythmic thumping of your heart. That beat is the rhythm of the universe dancing inside you. It is the same rhythm that moves the tides and spins the planets. As you hold your hand there, visualize a door in the center of your chest opening. Behind that door is a sun of brilliant white light. This is your divine spark. This is the Christ within. This is the part of you that knows no lack and knows no fear. By touching your heart, you are moving your consciousness out of your analytical mind, which is full of reasons why you cannot be rich, and dropping it into your heart, which knows that all things are possible. You are bypassing the guard at the gate. You are telling your logic to sit down and be quiet, because the king is about to speak. During this phase of connection, you must cultivate a feeling of intense gratitude and love. Not love for anything specific, just the vibration of love itself. Love is the carrier wave for the command. If you try to command wealth from a place of anger or frustration, the signal will be jammed. You must be in a state of high vibration. Think of someone you love or a place that brings you peace. Let that feeling expand in your chest until it feels like your heart is too big for your rib cage. This expansion is necessary. You are stretching the vessel. You cannot pour the ocean of abundance into a thimble of a heart. You must expand your capacity to feel. Spend the remaining minutes of your 23-minute ritual simply resting in this state of alignment. You are sitting tall. Your breath is deep and rhythmic. Your hand is on your heart. Your mind is quiet. You are a pillar of light connecting the core of the earth to the center of the galaxy. You are in what the mystics call the zero-point field. In this state, you are no longer John or Mary with a mortgage and a bad back. You are a nameless, formless point of consciousness with the power to create worlds. This is the state of the blank canvas. The old painting of your poverty has been washed away. The canvas is white and clean and waiting for the brushstroke of your command. Do not rush this. Do not check the clock. Trust your internal timer. You will know when you are ready. You will feel a click in your spirit. A sense of absolute certainty will wash over you. It is a feeling of being formidable. It is the feeling that if you whispered to a mountain to move, it would have no choice but to slide into the sea. Only when you reach this peak state of coherence are you permitted to open your mouth and speak the words. If you speak before this, you are just making noise. But if you speak from this place, you are making worlds. This ritual is the secret behind the secret. It is the discipline that separates the wishful thinkers from the miracle workers. Master the preparation, and the manifestation will master itself. Now that the temple is clean, and the channel is open, and the power is building, we are ready to unleash the sound. We are ready to learn the specific mechanics of the 3 words that will reshape your destiny. We have arrived at the summit of our journey. You have awakened in the sacred window. You have cleansed your body with the breath of life. You have opened the heart center. The vessel is ready. The bow is drawn. Now we must place the arrow on the string. This arrow is the phrase that Florence Scovel Shinn received from the divine and used to liberate thousands from poverty. The phrase is, "I command now." I know that for many of you, these words may feel uncomfortable at first. We have been conditioned by society and by misunderstood religious teachings to believe that we must be small and meek. We have been taught that it is arrogant to demand and that we should humbly ask for what we need. But I am here to tell you that there is a vast difference between arrogance and authority. Arrogance comes from the ego, which fears it is not enough. Authority comes from the spirit, which knows it is one with the source. When you beg, you are vibrating at the frequency of separation. When you command, you are vibrating at the frequency of union. To understand why this works, we must perform a forensic analysis of these 3 words, because each one is a nuclear code that unlocks a specific mechanism in the universe. Let us begin with the first word, which is I. This is the most dangerous and powerful word in the human language. When you say the word I, you are not just referring to your physical body or your personality. In the language of metaphysics, I is the point of contact between the human and the divine. It is the center of your universe. When you say I, you are driving a stake into the ground of reality and declaring your existence. You are focusing the infinite energy of the cosmos into a single point of laser-like intensity. Most people use this word carelessly. They say, I am sick, or I am tired, or I am broke. They do not realize that the word I is a summoning spell. Whatever follows the word I comes looking for you. When you start your decree with I, you are taking total responsibility. You are not saying they should give me money or the economy should get better. You are saying, I am the operative power here. You are stepping out of the shadows of victimhood and standing in the spotlight of the Creator. It is an assertion of sovereignty. The universe cannot help a person who does not know who they are. By saying I, you are announcing your presence on the battlefield of life. The second word is command. This is the engine of the phrase. This is the verb that frightens the timid but empowers the master. Why do we use the word command instead of ask or wish or hope? Because the universe is a mirror. If you ask a question, the universe gives you a question back. If you say, can I be rich? The universe echoes back, can you be rich? It reflects your uncertainty. If you say, I hope to be rich, the universe gives you more hope, which is just the waiting room for reality. But a command is a statement of fact that has not happened yet. A command bypasses the debate. Think of a general on a battlefield. When he orders a charge, he does not ask the soldiers if they feel like it. He does not send a memo asking for opinions. He issues a command, and the entire machinery of the army moves to obey him. The universe is not a person with an opinion, it is a law. It is a mechanism. Gravity does not argue with you. Electricity does not argue with you. They obey the laws of physics. Wealth is no different. It obeys the laws of metaphysics. When you use the word command, you are stepping into the role of the lawgiver. You are telling the atoms of your reality how to arrange themselves. You are not begging the mountain to move. You are commanding it to cast itself into the sea. This is not disrespect to the divine. It is the highest form of respect because it shows that you trust the power that was placed inside of you. You are using the authority of your heritage. The third word is now. This is the trigger. Without this word, the gun does not fire. The concept of time is the biggest trap for the human mind. We are addicted to the future. We say, I want to be rich someday. I want to be happy eventually. But the universe does not have a calendar. The universe only knows the eternal present moment. There is no tomorrow in the realm of spirit. There is only now. If you say I command wealth, but you leave off the word now, you are sending your order into a void. You are telling the universe to keep the wealth in the future. And because tomorrow never comes, you will spend your whole life chasing a carrot on a stick. When you say now, you are collapsing the timeline. You are reaching into the future, grabbing your destiny, and pulling it violently into the present moment. You are demanding an immediate shift in energy. You are telling the subconscious mind that the waiting is over. The check is not coming, it is here. The opportunity is not approaching, it is present. This creates a sense of urgency that forces the manifestation to accelerate. The word now breaks the procrastination habit of the universe. It is the slam of the gavel that settles the case. So when you put them together, I command, now you are forming a complete circuit of power. I is the identity. Command is the action. Now is the time. You are saying, I am the one who has the power to order this reality into existence in this present moment. When you speak this phrase in your morning window, you are sending a shockwave through the ether. You are notifying every cell in your body and every particle in your atmosphere that a new sheriff is in town. You are no longer the person who accepts whatever life throws at them. You are the person who dictates what life gives them. Now, I must teach you the specific modulation of how to say this because the tone matters as much as the text. You cannot whisper this with a question mark at the end. You cannot say it with a trembling voice. You must say it with the cold certainty of a judge reading a verdict. Florence taught a three-step delivery method that targets the three planes of existence. First, you speak it loudly. This is for the physical plane. You need to hear your own voice ring out in the room. You need your ears to hear it and your throat to vibrate with it. This breaks the inertia of the physical world. You say, I command now that infinite wealth flows to me. Let the sound bounce off the walls. You are claiming your physical space. Second, you speak it firmly but softly. This is for the mental plane. You are speaking to your own intellect. You are telling your logical mind to shut up and get in line. You say, I command now that all obstacles are removed. This is a conversation between you and your doubt. You are overruling your own skepticism. Third and most powerfully, you speak it silently. This is for the spiritual plane. You scream it inside your heart without moving your lips. This is the frequency that travels the furthest. This is the signal that reaches the divine. You feel the words exploding in your chest. I command now my multi-million-dollar reality. This silent scream is what changes your vibration at the quantum level. Do not underestimate the resistance you will feel the first time you do this. Your old self will fight you. It will feel silly. It will feel fake. It will tell you that you are a fraud. That is just the ego trying to keep you small. Push through that discomfort. That discomfort is the sound of your chains breaking. You must persist until the words taste sweet in your mouth. You must persist until you feel a surge of adrenaline when you say them. That surge is the evidence that the command has been accepted. You are not asking for permission to be wealthy anymore. That permission was granted the moment you were born. You are simply claiming your inheritance. Imagine walking into a bank where you have $1 million in a safety deposit box. You do not walk in and beg the teller to let you see it. You walk in, you sign your name, and you demand access to what is yours. The universe is that bank. The three words are your signature. I command now is the key that turns the lock. Stop acting like a stranger in your own house. Stop apologizing for your desires. Your desire for wealth is the universe's desire to express itself through you. When you command wealth, you are commanding the expansion of the universe itself. It wants you to be rich. It wants you to be powerful, but it cannot give you what you do not claim. So claim it. Claim it with your breath. Claim it with your posture. And claim it with the 3 words that shake the foundations of poverty. I command now. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it becomes your truth. Say it until the world around you rearranges itself to match the magnificence of your decree. Now that you possess the nuclear code of I command now, you have a responsibility to use it. But power without community can fade. If you are ready to stop begging and start commanding your destiny alongside thousands of other awakened souls, take a brief second to click the subscribe button right now. By subscribing, you are tuning your daily algorithm to the frequency of wealth and wisdom. Do not let this signal drift away. Lock it in. Join us. And now, let's move to the most critical step, making a binding covenant with the universe to ensure this power never leaves you. We have reached a pivotal moment in our transmission. We have uncovered the history of Magdalena, and we have learned the breathing techniques of the masters, and we have decoded the nuclear power of the 3 words, I command now. But before we move into the advanced work of clearing your subconscious blocks, we must pause. We must stop the intake of information and initiate an act of integration. There is a dangerous trap that catches 99% of spiritual seekers. I call it the trap of the spiritual tourist. The spiritual tourist loves to visit the land of abundance. They love to watch videos about wealth. They love to feel the temporary high of motivation. They nod their heads and say, yes, this makes sense. But then the video ends and they close the app and they go right back to their old life without changing a single atom of their behavior. They consume wisdom, but they never digest it. They know the path, but they never walk it. And because of this passive consumption, they remain exactly where they are. Knowledge without commitment is just rumor. It is spiritual entertainment. It does not change your bank account, and it does not change your destiny. The only thing that changes reality is a decision followed by an action. You are standing at a crossroads right now. In the last 20 minutes, you have received a frequency of high-voltage authority. You feel it in your chest. You feel the possibility of your first $1 million vibrating in your field. But here is the physics of spirituality. That frequency is volatile. It is like a radio signal that is drifting in and out. If you do not lock it in right now, it will fade. The chaos of the world and the negativity of the news and the doubts of your family will rush in and drown it out. By tomorrow morning, this feeling will be a distant memory, and you will be back to sleepwalking. We cannot let that happen. We must drive a stake into the ground. We must perform a physical act that tells your nervous system and the universe that this time is different. We must seal this covenant. I am asking you to make a micro-commitment right now. This is not about money. This is about energy. I want you to look at the subscribe button below this video. To the unawakened mind, it is just a button on a screen, but to the awakened mind, it is a mechanism of alignment. When you click that button, you are not just following a channel. You are curating your reality. You are telling the algorithm of your life that you choose wisdom over noise. You are choosing power over entertainment. You are joining a legion of souls who are all vibrating at the frequency of command. By subscribing, you are building a digital sanctuary where you can return every day to recharge your authority. If you are serious about becoming the commander of your wealth, do not let this moment pass without taking that action. Align yourself with the source of this teaching. Lock in the signal so it never fades. But there is a second action that is even more critical. This is the ultimate test of your courage. I want you to go to the comments section. This is not just a place for casual remarks. Think of it as a digital altar. It is a public scroll where we record the names of those who have accepted their divine heritage. I want you to type your name, followed by the 3 magic words. Type your name, I command now. Why is this so important? Why can't you just think it? Because thoughts are invisible, but writing is physical. When you take the thought from your mind and type it with your fingers, you are moving energy from the mental plane into the physical plane. This is the first step of manifestation. You are making the invisible visible. Furthermore, there is an ancient spiritual principle known as the law of the witness. A vow taken in secret has power, but a vow taken in public has exponential power. When you write your name and your command in a public forum, you are standing naked before the universe and declaring your truth. You are burning the bridges of retreat. You are saying to the world, I am no longer hiding. I am no longer ashamed of my power. I am here, and I am commanding my abundance. This act of typing your name requires a level of bravery. The ego will whisper to you. It will say, don't do that, it's silly. It will say, what if people see? That is the voice of the poverty program, trying to keep you small. Smash that voice, override it, type the words. As you type I command now, visualize that you are signing a contract with the divine. You are signing a peace treaty with money. You are signing a declaration of independence from struggle. Feel the texture of the keys under your fingertips. Hear the sound of the click. That is the sound of your destiny shifting gears. And when you hit post and you see your name appear on the screen alongside thousands of others, take a moment to look at it. Look at your name next to the words of power. That is your new identity staring back at you. That is the version of you who is already a millionaire. Acknowledge that person. Respect that person. And look at the other comments. See the thousands of other souls from every corner of the globe who are waking up just like you. This is the law of collective resonance. One candle can light a room, but 1,000 candles can light the world. When you see their names, know that you are not crazy, and you are not alone. You are part of a massive wave of consciousness that is rising to reclaim the earth. Like their comments. Reply to them. When you support the command of another, you strengthen the command of yourself. You are weaving a net of support that catches all of us. If you find yourself hesitating, ask yourself this question. If I cannot summon the courage to type 3 words on a screen, how will I summon the courage to handle $1 million? If I cannot commit to this small action, how will I commit to the massive actions required to build an empire? How you do anything is how you do everything. This is a low-risk test of your high-level intent. Pass the test. Prove to yourself that you are a person of action. The gap between the life you have and the life you want is filled with the actions you haven't taken. Close the gap. Take the action. Once you have done this, once you have subscribed and commented, sit back and feel the difference. You have shifted from a spectator to a participant. You are no longer watching the game, you are on the field. You have planted your flag. The universe has witnessed your signature. The angels have recorded your voice. The vibration is locked in. You are now tethered to this truth, and no matter how hard the wind blows, you will not drift away. You have anchored yourself in the harbor of abundance. This commitment is the prerequisite for what comes next. We are about to enter the operating room of the psyche. We are about to perform surgery on the deep subconscious blocks that have sabotaged you for years. We are going to reconcile with the energy of money and cancel the curses of the past. This is deep and sometimes emotional work. You cannot do this work if you are just passing through. You can only do it if you are committed. Now that you have signed the contract and locked in your frequency, you are safe to proceed. You are ready to face the shadows because you have anchored yourself in the light. So I will give you one last moment of silence, a moment to breathe, a moment to let the gravity of your choice settle into your bones. You have done the hard part. You have chosen, and in the eyes of the divine, the choice is everything. The how will be revealed, but the choice is yours. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for stepping up. Now, let us move forward into the healing. Let us clear the path so that the command you just issued can flow without resistance. Let us learn how to make peace with the millions that are coming your way. We have arrived at the most delicate and surgical phase of our transformation. You have awakened in the sacred window, and you have mastered the breath, and you have issued the command, and you have locked in your commitment. By all logical accounts, the miracle should be here. But this is the point where the rubber meets the road. This is the point where we must confront the invisible wall that has stopped you every single time in the past. Florence Scovel Shinn issued a grave warning that we must heed. She said that you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. If you pour the potent wine of the I command, now decree, into a subconscious mind that is riddled with cracks and old poisons, the vessel will burst and the wine will be lost. You cannot build a skyscraper of wealth on a foundation of guilt. If you try to command millions while deep down you hate money or fear money or believe that money is evil, you are creating a civil war inside your own soul. One part of you is flooring the gas pedal, while the other part is slamming on the brakes. The result is not movement. The result is a burnout. The result is noise and smoke and exhaustion. Before the command can take root, we must perform an exorcism of the poverty consciousness. We must reconcile with the energy of money, and we must cancel the curses of the past. Let us look honestly at the relationship you have had with money up until this moment. For most good-hearted spiritual people, it is a relationship defined by conflict. You want money, but you resent it. You need money, but you judge those who have it. This conflict did not start with you. It was programmed into you. Think back to your childhood. Think back to the kitchen table, where you heard your parents talk about finances. What were the phrases that were burned into your innocent mind? Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy, filthy rich. You have to work hard to survive. These were not just sentences. These were spells. These were curses cast by the people you trusted most, and they lodged themselves in the bedrock of your subconscious. Every time you heard money is the root of all evil, a barrier was erected between you and your divine inheritance. Now, you are an adult, and you are trying to use positive affirmations, but those old curses are still running in the background like a computer virus, silently deleting every opportunity that comes your way. You are trying to attract what you secretly despise, and the universe, which is a perfect mirror, will not give you what you hate. It will keep money away from you because it thinks it is protecting you from something you believe is bad. To fix this, we must first perform the act of reconciliation. We must heal the relationship. I want you to personify money for a moment. Imagine that money is a person. Imagine it is a beautiful, radiant, benevolent friend who wants nothing more than to visit your home and bring you gifts and make your life easier. But for 20 or 30 or 40 years, every time this friend knocked on your door, you screamed at them. You told them they were evil. You told them they were hard to get. You told them they caused all your problems. You slammed the door in their face. How would that friend respond? They would stop coming. They would go where they are celebrated, not where they are tolerated. The act of reconciliation is about opening that door and apologizing. It is about changing the vibration from hostility to hospitality. I want you to place both of your hands over your heart right now. Physical touch is important because it anchors the thought in the body. Close your eyes and visualize the energy of money as a golden light standing before you. Feel the warmth of your hands on your chest and speak to this energy. You do not have to speak out loud if you are in a crowded place, but speak with the loud voice of your inner mind. Say to it, "Dear Spirit of Money, I apologize. I apologize for misunderstanding you. I apologize for blaming you for my unhappiness. I apologize for the years of resentment and fear. I see you now for what you truly are. You are not evil. You are neutral. You are divine energy. You are solidified freedom. You are the tool that allows me to express my love and my creativity. I forgive myself for pushing you away, and I invite you back. I welcome you into my life, not as a master, but as a trusted partner. I promise to treat you with respect. I promise to manage you with wisdom. I promise to circulate you with joy. We are friends now. Feel the shift in your chest as you say these words. The tightness of anxiety is loosening. The heavy rock of guilt is dissolving. You are no longer fighting the current, you are turning your boat to flow with the river. This reconciliation changes your magnetic field. Before this moment, you were repelling money with a subtle signal of danger. Now you are attracting it with a signal of safety. Money flows to where it is safe. Money flows to where it is appreciated. By making peace with the energy, you are clearing the runway for the command to land. Now that we have made peace, we must take the second step, which is cancellation. This is the legal work of the spirit. In the court of the universe, your past words are like binding contracts. Every time you said, "I will never be rich," you signed a contract with poverty. Every time you agreed with a friend that the economy is terrible, you signed a contract with lack. These contracts are still valid and enforceable until you consciously void them. You have the authority to do this because you are the one who signed them. Florence Scovel Shinn taught a specific technique for this involving the throat chakra, which is the center of your creative power. I want you to move your hands from your heart and place them lightly on your throat or on your forehead. This signifies that you are about to rewrite the mental and verbal laws of your life. We are going to issue a decree of nullification. We are going to burn the old contracts. Repeat this after me with the authority of a judge banging a gavel. Say, "I hereby cancel, destroy, and delete every negative word I have ever spoken about money. I revoke every vow of poverty I have ever made continuously or unconsciously. I break every curse of lack passed down to me through my family lineage. I shatter the belief that I am unworthy. I shatter the belief that money is scarce. I shatter the fear of success. These thoughts are dead to me now. They are lifeless. They have no power, no place, and no influence in my reality. I am born again in the consciousness of abundance. The past has no grip on me. I am free." Visualize a fire burning up old dusty scrolls. Those scrolls are your old complaints. Watch them turn to ash and blow away in the wind. Feel the lightness that comes when the weight of the past is lifted. You have just cleared the hard drive of your mind. You have removed the virus. Now, and only now, is the system ready to run the new software of I Command Now. Without this step of cancellation, your affirmations would just be a fresh coat of paint on a rotting wall. But now, you have torn down the wall and built a fortress of truth. You must understand that this is not a one-time event. It is a practice. For the next few days, you will notice the old thoughts trying to creep back in. You will walk past a store and think, "I can't afford that." Stop. Catch it. That is the old ghost trying to haunt the new house. Immediately use the cancellation technique. Say quietly to yourself, "Cancel. I cancel that thought." The truth is, I am abundant and my supply is on its way. You must be a vigilant guard at the gate of your mind. Do not let a single poverty thought enter your sanctuary without challenging it. If you catch a weed, pull it out instantly before it drops seeds. This process of reconciliation and cancellation is the secret to speed. People ask, "Why does it take so long for my manifestation to arrive?" It takes long because the signal is mixed. It takes long because you are ordering wealth while broadcasting unworthiness. When you reconcile, you align the signal. When you cancel, you remove the static. The result is a clear channel. And through a clear channel, the command travels instantly. The delay is removed. The resistance is gone. Think of your potential for wealth like a garden hose. The water is the abundance of the universe, and it is always turned on, full blast. But your hose has been kinked by years of negative beliefs. No water is coming out, so you think the water is gone. You beg for water. You cry for water. But the problem is not the source, the problem is the kinks. Reconciliation unkinks the hose. Cancellation straightens the line. Suddenly the water bursts forth, not because you created the water, but because you removed the blockage. You are releasing the pressure that has been building up for years. This healing is profound. It goes beyond money. It heals your self-worth. It heals your relationship with your parents, who taught you those limiting beliefs. You realize they were doing the best they could with the programming they had. You forgive them, and in forgiving them, you free yourself. You are breaking the chain of poverty for your entire bloodline. You are the one who steps forward and says it stops with me. The struggle stops here. The lack stops here. From this day forward, this family knows only abundance. Take a deep breath and feel the purity of this moment. You are clean. You are clear. You are friends with money. You are free from the past. You are standing in the center of a new reality where the only limits are the ones you choose to accept, and today you choose no limits. You are ready. You are finally ready to take the final step of the transformation, which is the total shift of identity. You are ready to stop looking for wealth and start being wealth. The foundation is laid. The curses are broken. The path is open. Let us walk forward into the light of your new identity. We have now reached the deepest and most profound level of the manifestation process. We have awakened the morning mind, and we have breathed life into the body, and we have issued the command, and we have cleared the subconscious weeds. The path is open. But there remains one final variable in the equation of success, and that variable is you. Not the things you do, but the person you are. Florence Scovel Shinn taught a truth that is often overlooked by casual students of prosperity. She taught that the universe does not give you what you want, it gives you who you are. You can command wealth until your voice is hoarse, but if your internal identity is still that of a poor person trying to get rich, the universe will sense the contradiction. The universe is a frequency matcher. It matches your state of being. If your state of being is I am trying to get money, the universe will give you more trying. It will keep the money just out of reach so you can continue the experience of trying. To collapse the distance between you and the millions you desire, you must undergo a radical identity shift. You must stop being a person who wants wealth and start being a person who is wealth. This brings us to the ultimate power couple of the metaphysical world, the combination of I command now and I am. Let us decode the mystery of I am. In every ancient spiritual tradition, and in every mystery school throughout history, the phrase I am is considered the holy name of the creator force within the human. It is the self-definition of God. When you say I am, you are activating the creative engine of your reality. Whatever word you attach to the end of I am becomes a law for your life. If you say I am tired, you are commanding your cells to produce fatigue. If you say I am unlucky, you are commanding circumstances to go against you. Most people use this power destructively all day long without realizing it. They define themselves by their limitations. But today, we are going to use this power to define ourselves by our divinity. The identity shift happens when you realize that your current financial situation is not who you are, it is just where you are. Who you are is a child of the King. Who you are is a vessel of infinite capacity. When you combine the external force of I command, now with the internal stability of I am, you become unstoppable. One is the sword that cuts the path, and the other is the throne you sit upon. Think of it this way. I command now is the specific order you place with the kitchen of the universe. It is the transactional request for the $1 million. But I am is the person sitting at the table waiting for the food. If you order a royal feast, but you are sitting at the table dressed in rags with your head down, feeling unworthy, the waiter will be confused. He might even hesitate to serve you because you do not look like the person who ordered the feast. You must dress your spirit in the robes of royalty. You must sit with the posture of someone who expects the best because they are the best. This is what we mean by the identity shift. It is moving from the consciousness of becoming to the consciousness of being. Every morning after you have issued your commands, you must spend time cementing this new identity. You must look into the mirror of your mind and see a different reflection. You must say, I am wealth. Notice I did not say I have wealth. Having implies it is something outside of you that you possess. Being implies it is the very fabric of your existence. When you say I am wealth, you are saying that even if you were stripped naked and dropped in the middle of a desert, you would still generate abundance because it is your nature. You are not a container that holds money, you are the generator that creates it. This shift in perspective makes you magnetic. Money is attracted to confidence. Money is attracted to certainty. When you walk into a room vibrating with the energy of I am, wealth opportunities will find you. People will want to do business with you. They won't even know why, but they will feel the power of your presence. Let us practice the specific declarations of identity that Florence Scovel Shinn recommended. These are not just affirmations, they are confirmations of truth. Repeat these in your mind with absolute conviction. I am the resurrection and the life of my business. I am a magnet for divine ideas. I am the open door that no man can shut. I am prudent and wise with my resources. I am generous and fearless in my giving. I am the master of my financial destiny. Notice the power in these statements. You are not asking for these qualities, you are claiming them. You are putting on the new identity like a suit of armor. The ego will fight you on this. The ego will look at your bank balance and say you are lying. You are not wealthy. You are broke. This is the critical moment. You must stare down your ego and say, I judge not by appearances. My bank account is a temporary condition, but my I am is an eternal truth. I am changing the condition by changing the truth. You must be delusional in the eyes of the world to be successful in the eyes of the spirit. Every great millionaire started with a vision of themselves that did not match their reality. They held on to that I am until the reality caught up to the vision. This identity shift requires you to change your behavior before the money arrives. This is the concept of acting as if. If you were already the wealthy person you commanded to be, how would you move through your day? Would you stress over a $5 coffee? Would you envy your neighbor? Would you walk with your shoulders slumped? No, you would be relaxed. You would be generous. You would be gracious. You would walk with a quiet confidence. You must start doing these things now. You must wear the identity before you get the title. When you start acting like the person you want to become, you are sending a powerful signal to your subconscious mind that the transformation has already occurred. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real event and a vividly imagined one. If you walk, talk, and feel like a millionaire, your subconscious will assume you are one, and it will move heaven and earth to make your external world match your internal map. There is a profound peace that comes with this shift. When you are just trying to get money, you are always anxious. You are always checking the results. But when you are wealth, you are relaxed. You know that money is just an extension of you. You do not chase your shadow. The shadow follows you. In the same way you do not chase money, money follows the I am. If you identify as abundance, abundance must follow you. It has no choice. It is the law of attraction in its purest form. You attract what you are. So, if you want more, be more. Expand your concept of yourself. Stop seeing yourself as a struggling employee and start seeing yourself as a divine executive. Stop seeing yourself as a victim of the economy and start seeing yourself as a creator of economies. This is why the morning ritual is so vital. The world will try to beat you down into a small identity. The news will tell you that you are powerless. Your job will tell you that you are replaceable. Your bills will tell you that you are inadequate. If you do not have a strong I am, the world will give you a weak one. You must start your day by putting on your crown. You must remind yourself of your royal lineage. You are a child of the Most High. You have the DNA of the Creator in your blood. You were designed for greatness, not for mediocrity. When you say I am, you are remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. The combination of I command now and I am creates a complete circuit of manifestation. I command now directs the energy. I am anchors the energy. I command now changes the world. I am changes you. And because your world is just a reflection of you, you must change both. Imagine a lighthouse. The beam of light is the command cutting through the darkness. But the lighthouse itself, the strong tower standing on the rock, is the I am. You need the tower to hold the light. If you try to project a powerful command from a weak and shaky identity, the light will waver. Build the tower. Strengthen the self. Affirm your worthiness. For the next 21 days, make this your primary work. Do not worry about the how. Do not worry about the strategy. Focus entirely on the who. Who are you being? Are you being the person who creates millions? Are you being the person who stewards millions? Are you being the person who gives millions? The moment you fully embody that character, the stage will change to fit the actor. The scenery of your life will shift. The props will be upgraded. The supporting cast will change. It all happens automatically when the lead actor changes their role. You are the lead actor in the movie of your life. Up until now, you may have been playing the role of the struggling extra. Today you are rewriting the script. You are casting yourself as the hero. You are casting yourself as the victor. Stand in front of your mirror and look yourself in the eye. See beyond the wrinkles and the worry. See the eternal spirit looking back at you, and say to that spirit, I am wealth, I am power, I am love, I am here, and then issue your command, I command. Now that my reality reflects my truth, this is the secret, this is the way, this is the door. Walk through it as the person you were always meant to be. We have arrived at the final gate. We have journeyed through the awakening of the morning mind, and the cleansing of the breath, and the issuing of the command, and the healing of the past, and the shifting of the identity. You now possess the tools to summon millions. But there remains one final law that acts as the safeguard for your soul, and the guarantee of your longevity. Without this law, your wealth will destroy you. With this law, your wealth becomes eternal. This is the law of circulation. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that true prosperity is not just about gathering, it is about circulating. Many people who successfully use the command I command now to get money end up losing it just as quickly because they violate this fundamental principle. They treat money like a trophy, to be captured and locked in a dark vault. They think the goal is to have the biggest pile, but money is not a solid object to be hoarded. Money is a current. That is why we call it currency. It is like electricity or blood or water. It only has power when it moves. If you stop the flow of blood in your body, you die. If you stop the flow of electricity, the light goes out. If you stop the flow of money by hoarding it out of fear, you strangle the very supply you prayed for. We must understand the spiritual physics of why we are commanding this wealth. If you are commanding $1 million solely to satisfy your ego, or to buy luxury toys, or to prove to your high school bullies that you are successful, then your command is weak. The universe is not interested in your vanity. The ego is a small container, and it can only hold a small amount of energy before it cracks. But if you command wealth because you want to be a distribution center for the divine, then your command is backed by the power of the cosmos. The universe is constantly looking for open channels through which it can pour its abundance into the world. If you prove to the universe that you are a clear pipe that receives water and immediately releases it to water the fields, the universe will pump more water through you than you can possibly imagine. You become indispensable to the divine plan. You stop being a reservoir which can dry up, and you become a river which is fed by the ocean. Let us look at the ancient metaphor of the two seas in the Holy Land to fully grasp this concept. The river Jordan feeds two bodies of water. The first is the Sea of Galilee. This sea takes the water in and then lets the water out. Because it circulates the water, the Sea of Galilee is teeming with fish and surrounded by lush green trees and vibrant life. It is beautiful and generous. The same river then flows south into the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is shrewd. It takes the water in, but it has no outlet. It hoards every drop it receives. It keeps everything for itself, and the result is in its name. It is dead. The water is stagnant and salty and toxic. No fish can live there. No trees grow on its banks. It is a monument to the death that comes from stagnation. This is the choice you face today. You can be the Sea of Galilee, or you can be the Dead Sea. If you use the I command now decree to simply pile up money for yourself, you will become the Dead Sea. Your wealth will become toxic. It will bring you anxiety and paranoia and isolation. But if you use the decree to circulate wealth, you will become the Galilee. Your life will be full of color and joy and movement. This does not mean you cannot enjoy your wealth. You are the child of a king, and you are meant to live in a palace. You are meant to wear fine clothes and eat good food. That is your birthright. But there is a difference between ownership and stewardship. The hoarder thinks I own this, and I must protect it. The steward thinks this flows through me, and I must direct it. When you command wealth, you must simultaneously command its purpose. You must give your money a job. You must say to the universe, I am commanding this $1 million so that I can retire my parents. I am commanding this wealth so that I can build a school. I am commanding this abundance so that I can fund a business that employs hundreds of people. When you attach a service mission to your command, you are attaching a turbocharger to the engine. The prayer becomes selfless, and a selfless prayer has no resistance. It flies straight to the throne of God. This helps us solve the problem of fear. Many people are afraid to ask for big numbers because they feel guilty. They think it is greedy, but if your intent is service, the guilt evaporates. Is it greedy to ask for a lot of water if you plan to put out a fire? Is it greedy to ask for a lot of food if you plan to feed a village? No, it is necessary. The size of your request is determined by the size of your mission. If your mission is just to feed yourself, you only need a little. If your mission is to change the world, you need millions. So do not shrink your command, expand your mission. Make your purpose so big that $1 million seems like a small starting budget. When you do this, you are aligning your personal will with the divine will. You are becoming a partner in the evolution of humanity. Florence Scovel Shinn witnessed this time and time again. The women who came to her asking for money just to buy new hats often struggled, but the women who came to her asking for money to save a home or help a friend often received miracles instantly. The law of circulation creates a vacuum. When you give, you create a space that nature must fill. If you give fearlessly, you are proving to your subconscious mind that you believe in the infinite supply. You are telling yourself that the well will never dry up. This breaks the poverty mentality once and for all. A poor person holds onto $1 because they think it is the last one. A rich soul releases the dollar because they know it is a seed. And a seed must be buried in the ground and given away before it can multiply into a harvest. So how do we integrate this into our morning ritual? After you have said, I command now, and after you have affirmed I am, you must issue the decree of service. You must state clearly where the flow is going. You say, I command that this infinite wealth flows to me so that it may flow through me. I command that I am a blessing to everyone I meet. I command that my prosperity lifts the vibration of the entire planet. This protects you. It keeps your ego in check. It keeps your heart soft. It ensures that the money you receive carries a blessing and not a burden. Money that comes without a service purpose often brings sorrow. But money that comes with a mission brings peace. You must also practice this in the physical world immediately. You do not have to wait until you are a millionaire to be a philanthropist. Start where you are. If you have $10, give $1 away. If you have no money, give kindness, give praise. Give forgiveness. Circulation is an attitude, not an amount. When you tip a waiter, tip with a spirit of abundance. When you pay a bill, bless the company that sent it. When you spend money, say silently, I send you out to do good work, and I invite you back tenfold. Treat every transaction as a spiritual act of circulation. By doing this, you are greasing the gears of the machine. You are keeping the energy moving. You are proving to the universe that you can be trusted with flow. There is a beautiful mystery that happens when you live this way. You become magnetic. People want to be around you because you are a giver, not a taker. Opportunities find you because you are a solution, not a problem. You become a hub of divine activity. The universe looks at you and says, here is a human who understands the game. Here is a human who is not trying to stop the river, but who is helping the river flow. Let us send them more. Let us give them more responsibility. Let us give them more power. Because we know they will use it for the highest good. This is the ultimate security. Banks can fail. Markets can crash. But the law of circulation never fails. If you are a giver, you will always be provided for. You will always have a harvest because you are always planting seeds. As we close this transmission, I want you to feel the weight of the crown you are now wearing. You are not just a person trying to pay rent. You are a divine commander. You have the breathing techniques to power your vessel. You have the words to direct the atoms. You have the identity of a king. And now you have the heart of a servant. This is the combination that changes the world. Go forth and use this power. Do not hide it. Do not minimize it. The world needs rich spiritual people. The world needs you to be powerful. The world needs you to be abundant so you can help heal it. Wake up tomorrow and take your place. Sit in your chair. Straighten your spine. Breathe in the light. Place your hand on your heart and speak the words that will echo through eternity. I command now. And then go out and let that command bless every soul you touch. The door is open. The feast is ready. The mission is yours. Walk in it. Live in it. Be it. You now hold the keys to the kingdom. But remember, a key is useless if it stays in your pocket. Use it. Wake up tomorrow and command your reality. If this transmission has sparked a fire in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their power. And before you go, make sure you have written your decree in the comments. I command now. I read every single one, and I hold the vision of your success with you. Click that video on the screen to continue your journey of mastery. And I command your absolute victory. See you in the next level.